Cool, let's get started. So welcome to the second webinar already for Profectus AI. We started this project 2 years ago with building the software, and now we are getting somewhere. We're building the base. We have a nice following already in the Discord. And today I want to use time to share a little bit about our platform and then share a profitable trading strategy with you that is fully built in Profectus AI. And then at the end of this session, you of course get the link, and then you can get the system for yourself, play around with it, use it in the markets. So our main vision is simplifying automated trading for everyone. That's what we do with Profectus, and that's why we started this company. There was a big need for ourselves to have a no-coding platform that we can quickly develop trading strategies, like any trading strategy you can imagine, build that quickly, test it quickly. And after building this software for ourselves, for our own usage, we started to think this software can be very beneficial for everyone in the trading industry, because it really helped us to become more consistently profitable, more profitable in general, because we are allowed to trade more strategies together, because we don't have to do it manually anymore. We can just stack strategies and automate them quickly. So this is our vision. But what is Profectus AI? Well, it's the easy to learn drag and drop builder to automate any trading strategy, allowing everyone to trade forex, crypto, and/or stock markets consistently. So it doesn't really matter if you are trading FX or crypto or stocks. I started out with FX, but now we have algorithms running on all three markets. If you're a total beginner, I would tell you just focus on one market. But later on, you will develop the same strategies on one market and try and test them out on the other market. So that's amazing to do with this approach. Why you need this, what I learned over the past 10 years with trading, is I started fully manual, and then slowly I moved to automation. And there are three big obstacles I quickly want to outline before we dive in the strategy of today. And that is, people cannot test if something really works. Something that held me back. If I remember my starting days, it all came down to, I spotted the strategy online, someone was trading that, some guy on YouTube or Instagram or on the news, and I read about it, and I was starting to trade that right away, instead of using backtesting and really seeing, okay, let's go back in time, see if this pattern actually works, repeats itself, and it is tradable. People cannot test if something really works, and that's what brought me to learn automation. The second thing is, people can't watch the charts 24/7 with full focus. Life gets busy. You drive to work, you pick up your kids, you just are in a meeting. Whatever happens, you're not at the charts all day. And that really impacts your trading performance, because you want to be at the markets when the opportunities are there. And the markets don't care about what time it is. So therefore, this is so important to know, that if you're not at the charts, news comes in that was unexpected, or the markets start moving a lot, and if you're not there, you miss your trades. And I think everyone here knows that feeling of missing that big 10-hour move, that big 10% trade in a month, and that was the only opportunity for that month, and now you missed it, right? With automation, that is solved. And then people can't trade without emotional bias and mistakes. This is something I struggled with in the early years in my trading career, was that I figured out the human mind and the human brain is just wired to learn from experiences, right? I've been playing around a lot with AI, and how AI system is learning is based on the data and the context you give it. So based on the experiences you describe, and it analyzes that and uses that to learn. Well, the human brain is exactly the same. With that said, if you have that emotional bias, if you have that experience in the markets, maybe your past like 10 trades were bad trades, and you are now in drawdown, and you might lose your funding account, or you were so close to passing that prop firm challenge, and then the drawdown hits. The next trade you take is filled with emotional bias. It's like you have a lot of fear, and you're not certain, and you're not trading with confidence, and that all leads to making mistakes. And the other side is also true. If you have a winning streak, people get greedy, and that experience, that new data is just in your brain creating that emotional bias for your next position. So when I learned that, it was like, okay, every trade I take has a lot of baggage behind it based on the experiences I had. And that is another reason that I love automation. So in a nutshell, algorithms catch all the market opportunities, they always trade with confidence and are tested over many years of data. So that is the 3 big obstacles I had to overcome, and you just solve it by just simply automation. Then no coding, because a lot of people asked me in the last webinar afterwards, I received DMs and all of that from people that were thinking about programming, or some people programmed, and they asked, why are you using no coding? Is that the best approach? Because it's a little bit odd that you're not fully programming your strategies. So I always use this example. You have 3 people: manual traders, coders, and no coders. Manual traders, like I said, backtesting takes a lot of time. So building a strategy yourself and manually going through TradingView and testing that strategy just takes a ridiculous amount of time to do. And I've done it. We all have done it. But yeah, it's a numbers game. If I give you 10 different trading plans, probably 1 is really profitable and the rest is not good enough to get funding or sustain your funding. That's just the truth we figured out after testing thousands of systems. Then you have the coder, and the coder is as slow as that manual trader because it has to automate, or he has to automate that strategy first. And coding a strategy takes a long time, and then testing it is as quickly as we do it, of course. And then you have no coding. And the example I want to give you is the strategy we're building today together, and a profitable strategy I'm about to share with you. We found that online, and someone, a really advanced programmer in MQL language, doesn't matter which coding language you are coding in, but he was coding this strategy, and it took him around an hour. So that is someone that is a pro, that is very advanced and know what he's doing, right? We did spot that trading plan, and we built it in less than 3 minutes with Profectus AI. So it's easier to build with no coding, and you're way, way, way faster than any programmer out there. And that's why I love no coding. If you want to automate 10 strategies, see what works, what do I use for my next prop firm challenge, the no coder will win because he can test more strategies quickly. And that is why I love no coding, and I hope that answers the question. By the way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them right now in the Discord channel, in the chat we are using, and then I'll answer them later after this call, yeah? So strategy building time. Let's dive into the strategy of today. That's probably the reason why all of you guys are here. It is the gold range theory. That's the strategy, how we name it. And at the end of this keynote, you will get the link, and then you click the link, and then it pops open in Profectus AI, and you can download it and use it and test it. But I already tested this strategy for you. This is the equity chart of the strategy, just the raw version. So you can, of course, improve it with using a different stop loss, a different risk to reward, different management styles, maybe an extra filter that you're thinking about or that you know. And then you have this equity chart. This is a backtest on gold, the 15-minute time frame. So 1-5, the 15-minute. And yeah, it works very well on gold. It's a super interesting strategy, and I'm going to share the trading plan soon. This backtest is pretty big. It's a backtest from 2020 until 2025. You can see we have some consolidation in the middle, but before that and recently, crazy good results and a nice strike rate. And you can, of course, improve it, like I said, to even make it fit your style more, or test it on maybe stocks, or test it on FX. This is just gold at the moment. So there's a lot of potential in this strategy. The trading plan is super simple, and I love simple strategies because nowadays everyone is trading ICT concepts, SMC concepts, or some other complex things like supply and demand. And I love trading those styles as well, but I've figured out that these simple trading plans just keep proving to me, keep it simple works, especially if you automate it. So 5 steps. At 6 in the morning, find the high and the low of the past 3 hours. That's the first thing you do. If you're a manual trader, let's say Max wakes up at 5:30, then at 6 you sit at your charts, and then you find the high and the low of the past 3 hours. That's how you define the range and what we are looking for. Then step 2, if price breaks this high, you buy. If price breaks this low, you sell. Real simple, right? And then you exit at the end of the session. So what is the end of the session? Well, that is 7 in the evening. That's when volatility slows down. So you have the London session, pre-London session, you find that range. Then price more or less wakes up in the London session. Then you also have the New York session. And when that cools down a little bit, around 7 in the evening for me in Amsterdam, then you exit your trade. So you don't have a target with this particular trading strategy. You can have a fixed risk to reward if you want to test that. Maybe you find better results, but already this equity chart is with this trading plan. And only one trade per day is opened. So that's an extra rule in the strategy that I love is, okay, if the high breaks, we have a buy and we are not looking at sells anymore, and the other way around. But also this can be easily tested. Just tweak it a little bit in the system, run that back test, see what it does over the past 500 trades, and you have your answer, right? Every answer you have with trading, like what is the best target? What is the best stop loss? What is my management style? What should I do next? Is it targeting that next high or that next low? All those questions that all of us ever had in the markets, they are all answered by just testing, right? Just test it, see what the data tells you. You'll find some interesting things, some things you never seen before, right? So in action, if you run this algorithm in MetaTrader, by the way, the standard color theme right now, if you upload any system built in Profectus AI, you have these colors. And you see here that purple line, that's the buy order, is executed there. You see price from up left really tanked, like we were falling hard with gold prices there. Then it started to consolidate, and then we have a buy triggered when those highs broke. So this is how markets behave in a nutshell, right? We have big breakouts, big trends, big pushes in price, and then we consolidate and we chill out a little bit. So if you want to trade breakouts, wait for that consolidation and then take that breakout, because then the expectation and the probability is higher that we form a new trend. So the trade was executed. And then you can see here, the next picture shows you that breakout. The candle was now closed. We did see a little bit more consolidation, and then a big trend happened. And then up right, you can see the price exited, or the algorithm exited this trade. You can also do it manually, like I said. And yeah, then you took your profits and you banked this trade. This, of course, fully automated, and this is the strategy in action. So how to create this one in Profectus AI? This is it, more or less. You have running session, that's like a block, and in every block on our Profectus AI canvas, a block is just pre-written code. You don't have to code, you just connect blocks, like Lego pieces together, and then build that strategy. Like I said, this is way faster than just programming it yourself. The first block is running session, then we have on the left side 2 trading rules. Then we count trades, because I told you in the trading plan, we need to figure out how many trades we have taken already or how many trades are open at the moment, and we don't want any, so you need to check that. And then a buy now block. That's the left side of the decision tree. The tree is how I normally call it. And then the right side is trade rule again, count trades again, and then sell now. And if you just see this quickly, and maybe the first time you see these blocks, I know it might be a little bit overwhelming, but to keep it real simple, you see that buy now block, and everything above that is just are the rules to consider a buy trade. And to the right, you have sell now block, and then you can see, okay, the blocks above that have something to do with what do I want to see in the markets to take a sell order. Then we have modify variables, and that's a little bit more of an advanced block. You don't really need to use it in many strategies. You can go without it. And this is more or less a beginner webinar. I want to make it beginner friendly. And so we are not diving into modify variables right now, but we're gonna dive into the next blocks. So the first block we did see was run in session. And all this means is when to run the algorithm. I already told you in the trading plan, at 6 in the morning, we want to find a certain high and low, and point 4 was you exit at the end of the session. What is the end of the session? I told you already is 1900, right? It's just at 7 in the evening. So all we know is this algorithm only trades between 6 in the morning when we start and 7 in the evening, right? That is your time range. So you can trade the London session, New York session, or whatever trading session, but you can also just define a session yourself. And that is, in this case, 6 till 1900. And that is called run-in session. In this block, you just define simply when to start and when to stop. And every block connected below run-in session, so below this one, what you can see, all these blocks are only triggered during that time. That's the logic of our building. So that's why you use this block. Then we have the trade rule block. What do you want to see in the markets? A trade rule, like the name already tells you, is a condition. It tells you, okay, I want to see this, this, and this happen in the markets. If that happens, cool, let's check the next block, check the next condition. A trade rule has to the left that green dot, and then to the right that more red type of dot. The green one is true, and the red one is false. In this particular example, you see just one connection, and that's the left one, the true. You can see that here as well. You see trade rule, and then if that is true, you check the next trade rule. If that is true, you go to count trades. If that is true, you go to buy now. If that is true, you continue. And then the algorithm stops. There's nothing below it anymore. So we have two trade rules. Trade rule number one, which you will see when you have the code and you open it up and you want to test this strategy. You will open up the first trade block and you'll see we check if we already had a trade today. That's just a rule to check, okay, did we have a trade today or not? And then the next trade rule block is the most important one, and that was this: if price breaks this high, you buy, or if price breaks this low, you sell. We are now talking about just the left side, so the buy reasoning, and therefore the second trade rule block will have, does market price cross the high? And then, of course, we're going to count if we have trades open. If we don't have trades open, we continue. And then we click on buy now. And that is the block that literally executes the trade for you. That's when everything above was confirmed. And then we click on buy now. And there you go. We are live in the markets with a stop loss set and a target set in place if you want to. But you can also, within this buy block, add one more rule, and that can be close down my position at 7 in the morning. And that rule is also in this buy now block, because that was the rule of the trading plan. Then one more block I haven't shared with you, but it's like very important to add it, is check spread. What is the spreads in the markets? If there is a lot of news, the spread is widening in the markets, and you don't really want to trade when that happens, because you click on buy now, or your algorithm buys now, and then the spread is not that good, and then you have a very bad entry price. Therefore, I have this block in the platform just to protect you from that. Like before the buy now, in between here, between count trades and buy now, I would place a spread check. And then before we buy, just checking like, okay, markets are in a normal environment. There's no news going on. The spreads are nice, and I can get a nice entry. That's explaining everything you need to know for this strategy. And now I'm going to share this strategy with you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Discord right now while I work on sharing this with you. I'm going to share the link in the Discord chat. So make sure you open it up. It will be there for a few minutes for you guys. Meanwhile, text me your questions. All right, the link is in the chat. Go click on it, save it, use it. Cool. Any questions, guys, regarding just Profectus AI, trading in general? Joost and Nico are here as well, so the other founders of Profectus AI, so we can answer all of your questions. Feel free. You can unmute yourself and just talk with us, but you can also, of course, just send them in the Discord chat.